Hello, everyone, and welcome to our April 2021 Explorer Call. I believe it's 2021 already.
Wow.
I'm Janine Stimmy, our Director of Customer Communications here at Aira. We're all stunned now. And I am joined tonight by Ryan Bishop, our Product Manager. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Aira Explorers. I'm so glad to be here. It's April. Hard to believe it's already April of 2021. I don't know if I'm more surprised that it's 2021 or if it's April. I still haven't figured that one out yet. But
no, we're in Q2 already. Q2
I know, right?
Already. See, this keeps it from being seasonal because, we tend to be a little Northern Hemisphere centric, as I have been reminded. So we're in Q2 now. And
people
also,
tell me that we are supposed to have spring here, but I always tell people that where I live, it's only 2 seasons, and so I like going by quarters because it makes me realize the year actually works.
Yes. Well, I woke up to 3 inches of snow today, so April means nothing.
Well, it's about 95 here, so there you go.
Awesome. Well, our snow was gone by noon too. So we also have Emily Hill with us, our Director of Customer Experience. Hey, Emily.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, Janine.
Yeah, no problem. So tonight, folks, we are going to give some exciting updates, and we're going to talk a little bit about our access partners, and we're going to review our street crossing policy for everyone, since it is that time in Q2 to be getting out and about, whether you're recovering from the heat or just getting into the nice warm walking weather. As some of the COVID restrictions lift, we're all going to be out and about a little bit more, hopefully. And that means that we're going to be walking maybe and crossing some streets. So let's start with the updates. I have a couple, and then we will turn it over to Ryan for a very big one that folks are tuning in for on YouTube. And hello to all of our YouTube audience.
There are a lot of people there listening for that one.
There are a lot of people on YouTube. So my first update, folks, is, do you realize, and this was a stat that I got a couple days ago, so it could be different now, and maybe Emily can let me know, but we have over 6,000 minutes have been used on our COVID vaccine promo. I hope that you all are taking advantage of that promo that is going to run through the end of June, because it is going to be difficult for everybody in the world, I guess, but definitely in the US to get vaccinated. So we are extending that promo through June, and we have had over almost 6,000 hours as at the time the person looked, and I'm sure we have more by now. That promo allows you to get assistance with inaccessible websites, to make your COVID appointments, to also navigate the facility once you go to get your vaccine, and then of course take your vaccine selfie once you are finished and fully vaccinated. So get excited about that. Hopefully folks have been able to do that. My second announcement involves our Afternoon at the Museum series. This week, we are going to be at the Boston Museum of Science, which has, I am told by a friend, giant Tesla coils, which sound pretty scary to me, actually. But I think we're going to go to the planetarium. So if you have never been to a planetarium before, or you think, what would a blind person do at a planetarium? You are going to find out.
I love
and
planets.
That is, oh, I know. I love planetariums. I've loved them since I was a kid.
Yep.
And yeah, so we are going to go there on Friday at 4 p.m. And then next week, we are going to the National Zoo because Ryan wants to go to the National Zoo. Yeah.
I think she's been annoyed at me, honestly. I've been talking about the National Zoo for like several months now. Yeah. I'm so excited for the National Zoo.
We had an open program slot, and I said, okay, we're going to the National Zoo. So we have 2 fantastic agents who are going to be on that day. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining us at the San Diego Zoo. That was fun, and it's going to be even more fun with pandas.
Yay!
What the National Zoo is famous for. So we will have 3 more episodes of Afternoon at the Museum. Then we're taking a summer break, and we will be back in September with that program. So stay tuned for what our 3 remaining episodes in May are going to be. They're going to be pretty special. and pretty neat. So stick around. We're going to New Zealand. We are going to APH, and we're going to, and that's American Printing House for the Blind, and we're going to end with a Veterans Memorial right here in Columbus. So that'll be a good museum too. All righty. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. So, Ryan, we had a very recent update to the Aira iOS app. Let's talk a little bit about one of the features of that update that involves a rideshare company. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. Happy to come in here and give a little bit of an update. So as you know, I'll kind of go into a little bit of history here. Aira has had partnerships with rideshare companies since, for a very long time now. And we did this mainly for several reasons. Number one, there's a lot of safety and knowing and security for knowing which car is definitely your rideshare. There was also a lot of benefit in being able to use agents to track that ride and know where your ride was on the map. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this talk is to not only give some workarounds for the current issues at hand, but to kind of bring these to light. So as you know, the one main rideshare we're going to talk about today is Uber. And Aira has had an Uber integration for a good little bit. And it was an integration that we built that ran off of the Uber APIs that they allowed developers to use. Now, throughout the past, I would say, year or so, companies have wanted to get more secure with their data and restrict a lot of things that they share with third-party companies like us. And really, it's for their privacy, for their security, and unfortunately, a lot of that is restricting functionalities that we have the ability to do. For example, seeing your payment methods to be able to request rides for you, or switching those payment methods, or very recently, it was even getting access to accounts, as you may have seen in the Aira app. Aira has tried to reach out to Uber to let them know about our service and to let them know about some of the things that we've done. And we unfortunately haven't gotten any responses from Uber. We've tried various communications, we've tried various avenues, emailed people, and we haven't heard anything. As of recent, the issues that were experienced kind of started about 5 months ago, you may have noticed it, and you were originally able to still get rides requested, but you may have noticed that there was some issues tracking the ride. You may have noticed that there was some issues with maybe getting a ride to work. Sometimes with an agent, there was some problems there. And then eventually you just weren't able to sign into the app or sign into Uber anymore. At this time, because of that, we did go ahead and remove Uber from the Aira app experience. Now, that doesn't mean that it will be gone permanently. We still do continue to work with Uber or to try to work with Uber, I should say, and to get a hold of them. And we would love more than anything to bring this full integration back into the app. And so we are definitely going to continue working on that, so that way we can get Uber to work with Aira again. In the meantime, how can you get your agents to track your Uber ride? Because I know that Lyft isn't in every location. I do know that Uber is a lot more widespread. So your agents have a few ways that this can work. There is a way for the agent to be able to log in to the Uber website on the computer. And so if you share those details with your agent, like you would share other account details, they can go on to uber.com and log in to the website there. They are then able to request the ride for you. And so they can still do that part on the website. That full functionality does work, and we will be demonstrating that for you in a future upcoming video. You can also give the agents the description of the Uber car that you do get. So in the Uber app, you are able to see the license plate number, the color of the car, and all sorts of information about the car when you do get a car. In that regard, you are able to then tell your agent on the call, hey, I'm in this parking lot, or I'm waiting for this car to pull up. It should have this license plate. The agent can then look out for any cars that they see, have you pan to license plates, and make sure that you are still getting into the correct vehicle. Again, I want to say again that we are still trying to work to get Uber to work with Aira, and we will continue to try that. But I'm happy to answer any questions, go into more details for anybody who's interested. But at this time, the update did remove, and there will be an update here for Android in the next week or so that will do that as well.
Right. Well, this is all very good to know. I know people have been asking for a while what was going on with Uber, and we were disappointed but hopeful. We'll say that. And Emily, we did have a question, which I'm sorry I didn't get to you before the call here earlier today, from someone asking about Lyft and exactly what agents are able to do with your Lyft ride if you have your profile connected. So are they able to track that trip in Lyft, similar to what they do in Uber, or how does that work?
Yeah, Janine, thanks for asking. That is a good question. However, though Lyft has been stable for longer than Uber has, they also have a tendency to be very protective over their third-party integration. And so actually what the agent can and cannot see changes occasionally. So at this point, I'm going to give a very vague answer of just that, because I know that other people listen to this recording later, and I don't want to provide any information that will get old potentially quickly. So I would recommend, if this is something that you're interested in doing with your agent, to please just give them a call when you are using Lyft, and either beforehand or after, test it out, see what works at that time. And then we can also do the same thing with Lyft that we can do with Uber if you prefer a little bit more of a consistent experience. So we are happy to log into your Lyft account online as well. And in that case, we have full functionality, same as if we were sitting right next to you using your own cell phone on the Lyft or Uber apps. So that's my best recommendation. I'm sorry it's a bit of a vague answer at this time, but it does change, and I want you to be able to always have the best and most up-to-date info.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we
And
know
and
that
I will add on
rideshare,
that
it means a lot to people.
I will add on that, like Uber, we are trying to contact Lyft as well. And so, there's definitely avenues on that way. And I just, people know we are working on those integrations as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, turns out that is a very popular feature, safety-wise and otherwise, for our customers. So just want you all to know that we definitely are aware of that. So Ryan, let's talk about some product management things. You were named our product manager back this past fall. So It's probably been what, about 6 months since you've been in that role?
No, just about, yeah, I would say just around 6 months.
Yeah, so
unbelievable.
I'm
so pleased to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to
exactly
to work on one of the greatest products.
as I noted today, we are the coolest company with the most life-changing missions. So there you go. But I wanted to talk a little bit about our access partners before we can go into more detail with Ryan about the product. Now, everybody remember that a lot of the way that we provide Aira to you and extend the life of your Aira subscription and allow folks to use the product without having a subscription is through our access partners. And tonight I wanted to share my screen with you guys to show you, if you are not familiar, and since we have all the folks on YouTube, I'm just going to go over here and share my screen. Okay. There we go. And we'll share my sound. And here is
Actions available.
our small business. This is probably the promo in this category that's used the most. This is our small business offer from the good people at Intuit and QuickBooks. And this is if you are running a small business, this offer is here to complete some of the small business tasks. Now, if you're not sure what the offer includes, you can double tap on it and get a list of the tasks for all of these offers or more information about the offer. I'm going to go back up.
Agent voted promo spring cleaning. You can use one 30-minute call per day for spring cleaning tasks around the house and on the computer. What is covered? General cleaning around the house. Organize.
Okay, I'm going to silence that for the moment. This is our agent voted promo. And this is one of the fun things that we have done based on our agent input, because let's face it, they know what you guys do. And so they vote each month for an agent voted promo. This month it's spring cleaning. And we've had a number of people take advantage of this promo. At the last time I looked, it was about 2,000 minutes worth, but that was a week or so ago. Hopefully, I'm sure it has gone up significantly since then. We'll have a new agent voted promo on May 5th. Wednesday, May 5th, the new agent voted promo will come out. So you will definitely want to look at your Aira news that week and see what that promo is going to be. It's a fun one. Trust me, you're going to like it. And I would say the same going forward, through the summer months, because they have some pretty creative stuff planned here.
Starbucks. You can now use Aira for 30 minutes at Starbucks stores, at starbucks.com, and for using the Starbucks app. Button. Actions available.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's familiar with Starbucks. Hopefully you have been to a Starbucks near you. That promo is also going great guns, and we hope you're enjoying that one. I'm going to go out of the screen because you kind of get the idea now, but let's
limited time
go
and
back.
Recently used. Heading.
We'll go down
Categories.
here.
Promotions. Products. Tasks that involve using certain products like JAWS. Button.
Aha. Tasks that involve using certain
Loading.
products. Let's jump
Double
in
tap to dismiss
here
pop-up window. Button.
and see.
Free access offers. Back button. Products. Heading. Search by product or company name. Search field.
And yet another search box.
Northern Arizona University websites. Northern Arizona University. Button.
Oh,
Actions
look
available.
at that. One of our access partners, Northern Arizona University. This is where you're going to see universities. You're going to see some of the museums in here. Actually, you may see them up in the other promotions category as well.
QuickBooks. Intuit Incorporated. Button.
There we go.
Actions
There's
available.
our QuickBooks. If you don't find a promo in one category, look in the other between product and promotion, because depending on how that promo is set up, it could be in either one. But let's do some more looking. We have, again, the QuickBooks promo from Intuit.
SedgwickCounty.org vertical line Wichita.gov. Sedgwick County. Button. Actions
And
available.
look at this, an entire county. This is Sedgwick County, which is Wichita, Kansas. So any of their county services, much like Milwaukee County in Wisconsin, their whole transit system and many of their county attractions, including their zoo and parks, those are all going to be in here.
To everyone.
Now,
Can you clarify access for the
those
Moorfield Eye Hospital for
will
UK
be-
members?
Target.com. Target.
Okay,
Button.
we have Target
Actions available.
and Target.com. And in the UK, we have a brand new partner, the Moorfield Eye Hospital. Someone mentioned that here in the chat, and they are a new access partner. And they've got a really interesting research arm of this involved at Moorfield, and that involves people who have Charles Bonnet syndrome, which is an eye condition that involves images that you see that aren't actually there. It's a very interesting condition, and it can really just really be difficult to deal with for someone. I have some experience with that. My husband has some experience. Many people develop this eye condition over years and years, where you'll see images that actually aren't there. And so they are doing some research on this at Moorfield Eye Hospital. But in general, if you are going there for any reason, eye exams, any of the other services that they offer, Aira is free there. So we are very excited about that. For London and for our UK explorers, we hope to be getting some more access locations in the UK very soon. We also have, for our UK folks, our RNIB
American Express vertical line
power
wallet. Now.
plans,
American Express Gold Card.
which are
Kroger.
very exciting. You
$18.96.
can actually get 30 minutes of Aira per month for 15 British pounds. So a nice savings there on your
Apply offer.
Aira. So
Products,
now we're
tests,
going to go.
products, test,
Let's
recently,
go.
no free offers, category, promotion, product, location, locations, tests
Let's
while
go
you're in
to
certain
our
locations.
location
Button.
offers. And this is how the Moorfield Eye Hospital would come up. Location offers will pop up when you're in the location. You'll get a special notification on your phone, and you'll hear a little bit different tone whenever you call.
Location offers will automatically apply on a regular call if you are calling from an Aira access location. This relies on GPS accuracy.
That's right. It does rely on GPS accuracy, and generally, it is fairly accurate. So once you step in the door of a place or get close to it, you're going to get notified that it is an Aira access location. Now, what you're going to see here
Meyer, Cleveland Avenue, 0 points. Location, free access offer. Aira access locations. Heading.
Okay.
Search by location name or city/state. Search field.
We have a search bar here, and you're just going to see a few of the ones that are close to me.
Location offers will automatically apply on a regular call. Meyer, Cleveland Avenue, 0.7 miles away, 5,555 Cleveland Avenue, Columbo.
And notice that I get the how far away it is, what the address is, which is also super helpful. But I've got a whole list of them here. But you can also search in this box, and I'm actually
narrator
going
to everyone. How does the Aira works in Moorfield Eye Hospital? The Wi-Fi and data coverage is not very good.
A search here, and I will answer the question about Moorfield here in a moment. But I'm going to do a search on airports, because often people will ask us, is such and such
Walgreens,
an
7th,
airport?
Meyer, Cleveland Avenue. Free
Is
access
that an
offers.
access
Back button.
location?
Double tap to free Aira access locations. Edit. Search by location name or city/state.
Let's go
Search
in here,
insertion pointed in.
and
Search field.
I'm just going
is
to
edited.
type in the
Search by
word
location name or city/state.
airport.
Character mode. Double tap to dismiss pop-up window. Airport. Search field. Cancel. Button. Location offers will automatically apply on a John Glenn Columbus International Airport, 6.1 miles away, 4,600 International
Obviously,
Gateway,
that's
Columbus, Ohio,
my
43219.
airport, and that's pretty
Button.
close. But let's see what else we have by just typing in the word airport.
Rickenbacker International Airport, LCK, 18.9 miles away, 2,295 John Say DR, Target Heath, 26.0 miles away, 270 Airport Parkway, Heath, Ohio, 43056.
And notice we have airport in the street name. So that's what you're going to get in some of your searches. You can also type in city and state there. Now, we did have a question about the access at Moorfield Eye Hospital, because as we have heard, the Wi-Fi is not great there. And we can tell you, I don't know, Emily, if we've had many folks calling from Moorfield yet. This offer just went up last week, I believe. If the Wi-Fi is difficult there, it may be harder to get an agent. We're going to try to make this work. We're definitely going to try as hard as we can to make it work. And I know that Marty Watts, our access manager, has been looking at cell networks and talking with folks over in the UK about that, because, if the cell service is not good, it's going to be hard to get our service to work. But we're going to try our best to make it work at Moorfield. We don't have a lot of actually on the road experience of this one. So if you go to Moorfield and you have difficulty getting the service to work, please let us know. And you can do that by emailing us at support@aira.io. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. There we go. So that is a little bit about our access locations and how you can find promos and access locations and access partners. And I would also say that, for example, if you were at Moorfield Eye Hospital, or if you were at a big box store, maybe that has our service, maybe it's a grocery store, someplace like that, and the cell reception is not great, you may want to kind of let the management know, I would love to use Aira. Is there any way that you can beef up your cell network? Because other people are using cell service for other things in that location as well, I would imagine. Things like the in-store app and other things. So it's worth discussing. But we do want to hear from you folks in the UK about Moorfield and how things are going there. I did a lovely presentation this week to the folks at the Thomas Pocklington Lodge. And so that was wonderful. And hopefully they will be looking at getting Aira there as well. So that was our goal. We're hoping for that. So, Emily, we're going to be walking and crossing streets pretty soon. And in 2019, we changed our street crossing policy. And then what, about 6 months later, the pandemic. Oh no. So I wanted to refresh with everybody. What can agents do when we come to a street crossing? What's the typical way that we do street crossings? You know, what's our sort of default? And then what else can we do?
Janine, the way that you set that up sounded like the start of a movie or something.
I know.
Right?
In a world where
Where
In a
Aira
world where
can
street
assist in
crossing
crossing
policies
streets.
change.
No,
A
but honestly,
deadly
it's a great question
pandemic.
because Janine, you're right. We've already started to see an increase in explorers getting out and about as we all kind of stretch our legs in this new 2021 universe.
Mhm.
So to start, the first thing that you should expect is that your Aira agent will, as you begin approaching the intersection, they will begin describing that intersection to you. So things that you can expect that they'll tell you is the cross streets, so that you know where you're at, the shape of the intersection, maybe the lanes of the intersection. And then as you start to get closer, they'll be able to see other specific types of details. Think stoplight versus stop sign versus nothing at all. Is there a physical crosswalk present, or is it just a free-for-all across the street? Is there a pedestrian button? Is there a tactile plate at the corner? Can they see maybe even across the street so you know what you'll encounter on the other side? Perhaps think maybe it's a blended curb that you might not realize once you get there that you're actually fully across. Your agent might be able to tell you all of those things depending upon certain conditions. Now, by the time that you get to the street corner, the agent will at that point become quiet. This is intentional so that you, as the person who's physically in the location where you are walking, can then listen to traffic and make a judgment call about when it will be safe for you to cross the street. Now, depending upon what your agent can see and any additional information that you request of them, they may be able to provide additional details as well, perhaps due to changing circumstances or based on what it is that they can see through your camera. So it could be true that you're hearing kind of weird traffic and you say to the agent, you know what, I'm really only hearing traffic in one direction. Is this a one-way street? And the agent may say, well, turn your phone left and right and I'll check for a one-way street sign. And then they might say, yes, it is, right? And then you know now that what you're hearing is that it is a one-way street versus just a very strange type of intersection, right? Or perhaps imagine that you're halfway across the intersection and you begin to veer towards the traffic. In this case, the agent would step in and say something like veering left, turn right, or correct to the right, or something like that, so that then you know and are able to correct and continue through the intersection. Now, this is the default. The agent will always describe the intersection, then fall silent so that you can listen. And then if important, necessary information, such as a giant pothole that is going to trip you, a snake in the road, massive ice, if we can see it, veering, all of those really important things that your agent might not see until you're up on top of them, then we will provide that information to you. Now, you as the explorer, if you have additional questions, you're always welcome to ask, right? Maybe you know that you tend to veer towards the left, so you can tell the agent, hey, I tend to veer left. Please let me know when I start to, and I will correct. Or perhaps you want the agent to say, nothing at all. You only want to rely on your orientation and mobility skills. You do not want the agent to talk to you in the middle of the intersection, regardless of what happens, because it will startle you, maybe, right? So in this case, just tell the agent, hey, please be silent while I'm in the intersection. And in that case, the agent will not say anything while you are crossing. But you are, as always, in control of the information. So if you are not getting from your agent enough, or if you're getting different information than you wish, then please just let us know, because we want to provide exactly the type of experience that you're looking for, and we will do everything that we can to do so. Now, there are some things that your agent probably won't be able to tell you. Number one, first and foremost, we'll never tell you if it's safe. So if you ask me, hey, Emily, let me know when it's safe to cross the street, I'll have to say, I'm sorry, that's up to you. I can't tell you something is safe, but I can tell you the pedestrian light has turned on to walk, right? That might be an example of something I can tell you versus what I can't. Or it could be true that perhaps there are environmental factors affecting what your agent can and can't see. So one example of this that I hear pretty often is that, say you're approaching a very large intersection. We're talking like, 7, 9 lanes, something like that. Now, at that point, depending upon how the sun is located, I might not be able to see that pedestrian signal because it might be too far away. The glare from the sun might be affecting the video that I'm receiving. And so in that case, your agent would simply say, I'm sorry, I won't be able to provide that information to you. I can't see it. So it's not that we don't want to, it's just that simply we can't. And then again, I won't be able to tell you if there is traffic coming because there is, though our real-time video is excellent, sometimes that car just jumps right in front and you being actually present will be better able to take action as needed than your agent will be able to in that space. So if there is something impeding your path of travel, we're talking maybe, those pesky drivers have pulled into the crosswalk in the right-hand turn lane, the agent can tell you that, right? They can say, hey, there's a sedan in the crosswalk. And that way you can either, motion at the driver to keep going, or you can walk around them as needed. But the agent won't be able to say, there is nobody there, your path is clear. And then a car approaches, you're going to be able to address that situation much more quickly than your agent will be able to. So that's another example of something we might not be able to do.
Gotcha. Wow. And I will say I have been out and about a few times now since, things have lightened up a little bit and the weather's gotten nicer, and the agents have done a great job of shifting because it's been a while since we've done a lot of navigation, and it's a hard skill for the agents and big responsibility. And I think they've done a great job at shifting back into that skill for folks. So everybody, don't be afraid to go out and do some adventuring. I know Ryan has been out adventuring, right, Ryan?
Oh yeah,
You've been having all kinds of adventures.
I walk around. I've done stuff. It's all about that vaccination. I'm telling you, it's once you get it, it's freeing. And agents are wonderful at doing navigation. And that street crossing policy is great. We've gotten a question, Emily, that I see here about parking lots. What are the rules in regards to agents and parking lots?
Yeah, great question.
Yes.
So for a parking lot, the agent will actually do the exact same thing as we just talked about with intersections. So as an agent, I treat it the same way. While you are crossing through the parking area, I'll be quiet. And then if something happens that needs me to tell you about it, then I'm happy to do so. But for the most part in that situation, I will give you an overarching description of that parking lot. So say we find the pedestrian crossing across the parking lot, I might tell you, okay, you'll be crossing 2 lanes. You'll reach an island, at which point you'll turn right and then cross 2 more lanes. And then, of course, when you reach that island, I would help you by finding that right-hand turn to the correct angle. But then while you're actually doing the walking, I'll mostly be quiet unless you ask me for some other detail or something like that. You will find that your agents won't make small talk with you while you're walking. So sometimes people might ask questions about, oh, how's the weather in your area? The agent will likely still remain quiet while you are walking through the intersection or through the parking lot so that you can continue listening. Then at the end, you might find me say something like, now that you're fully across, the answer to your question is, I love the color yellow, right? Or whatever it might be. So just know going in to expect that. And parking lots and intersections are treated the same way.
And what about walking along a street with no sidewalks? I have lots of these in my area.
Yeah, so that is actually going to be treated the same way as well. So we won't hang up on you, but I might tell you at the corner, I'm imagining, Janine, probably in your neighborhood, you get to a corner, then you turn in the direction you want to go. And at that point, you lose the sidewalk. And then it resurrects
Yep.
itself 2 blocks later, something like that, right?
Yep.
So in that case,
Pretty
the agent
close.
would continue to provide information in a very small amounts of bursts as needed as you're walking. So I would say, okay, Janine, as you turn right onto that street, you lose the sidewalk. I will let you know when you start to veer. Otherwise, continue in a straight line, and I'll let you know if I see anything that is important, right? So then you might be walking along, perhaps in 10 feet, there's a truck parked on the side. In that case, I would tell you in 10 feet, there's a truck parked on the street, take 2 steps to the left to get around it. And then you would be able to do that, follow the truck around, and then continue again down your path.
Awesome. Awesome. And I can vouch for that. I do it all the time. Awesome. Any other questions or comments out there, Ryan, from our folks on YouTube or anybody out there?
I don't see anything on YouTube, but we do have some hands raised. Do we want to go ahead and take some questions?
Let's do that. Let's do that. We have our product manager here. We have our director of customer experience. Let's do it.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with Linda.
And hello, Linda.
Oops, am I unmuted?
There we go.
You are unmuted.
You certainly are.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, I live in Massachusetts, and they put a traffic light up, and well, anyway, I have a walking routine that I like, but now that they got the traffic light, I want to explore where else I can walk. And I went with my neighbor, and it's hard for me to know if he's just being super overprotective, because I don't know if you folks do stuff like say, okay, well, you could walk up to this certain point, but don't walk such and such a street because it's unsafe, or, and I don't know how that works with an explorer. I'm just an explorer. I haven't signed up for minutes or anything. So I'm kind of wondering how that would work as well.
That's a great question.
Thanks, Linda. So
Emily,
to answer your question, the agent will not tell you that something is safe. That's actually not something that we're able to tell. What we have is a satellite map of the area. So our map is exactly as good as the internet upkeeps it, which means that usually they're a couple years old, but generally most places don't change fast enough that it's truly a problem. Plus, we still have that live stream audio video connection. So if something that I'm seeing through your camera doesn't match what's on the map, then I will, of course, use exactly what I can see through your camera. The most common situation of this is perhaps my map shows a construction area, but the construction has been finished, or perhaps it's vice versa. And so in that case, we rely on the video quite heavily. But
so I have trouble hearing, so I'm not sure. And you sound kind of reverby. So I'm not understanding the question about being just an explorer at this point, and how, you would do that. You'd have to look at a map and what?
So typically our agents have, if the maps online, if they are not up to date, will use what they see through your live video feed on their camera. The agent will not be able to make the determination whether or not it's safe or unsafe, or they will not tell you that. What they will do is be able to use what they can see to get you through the situation or to help you work through it. So if you do go on that street and they see, say, a construction zone, or they see, something like that, they will be able to tell you, hey, there's some construction ahead. They will find the pathways through it if you would like to go that way. They can also find on the maps that they have alternative routes if you would like to. But at the end of the day, what is determined to be safe or not is really up to you. If they tell you there's a construction zone, you're more than welcome to ask for an alternative route. Or you're more than welcome to say, okay, do you see a way through that? Can we get
well, like, for instance, I know that there's a place where there's a little alcove, with some houses where I could walk away from the traffic, but I don't know exactly how to find it. And like I said, I'm not on a paid plan, so I'm trying to figure out if I just didn't hear you or what, how that would work.
Right. And Linda, you will need to be on a paid plan actually to do more of the walking kinds of things that you'd like to do. Yeah, that you will definitely need. But That said, if you are a member of the American Council of the
I
Blind or the
am.
National Federation, wonderful. Well, they actually have a discount plan. It is you can get 30 minutes per month for $20.
Okay.
I will say, I will throw it out there and say, like, not on a paid plan, you do have a 5-minute
Mhm.
call. And I will say that if you do call and you're in a situation where you need something quickly described, or you need the agent to tell you, hey, you can turn right up here and get to your house or whatnot, they can do that. So it's not that you don't have if you don't have a paid plan, they won't help you navigate. It's just that you only have 5 minutes to do it. And so
Okay.
if by chance you need more than that, then yes, you will have to get a paid plan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, we do hope you go out and explore your neighborhood, because that is a wonderful thing to do with an agent, and do it very safely. And the agent can give you the information, and then you can make the decision as to whether you feel comfortable doing that or not. All righty, Ryan, who else do we have this evening?
All right, taking a look. I see a question here in YouTube about Salt Lake City, Utah Airport, if that is an Aira access location.
Let's see. I cannot get Emily. Do you know if that is
I don't know off the top of my head,
a
unfortunately.
location? I don't off the top of my head, actually. If you are in Salt Lake City, you can. We are looking that up
while
for
we are
you.
getting that answer for you, I want to throw it out there. We have some questions about how do I get on the call live. Definitely, if you're on YouTube, definitely feel free to put your questions in the YouTube chat. We are definitely able to read those out and get those answered. I see some things about how do I get support on calls. You can always give our customer care team a call. They're more than willing to help you out. You can find their number in the Aira app under the More tab. They are open 7 days a week.
And it looks like the Salt Lake City Airport is not an access location at the moment. However, as we open back up, we are talking to the airports again, because they're going to get busy again soon, I think, sooner than later. And so, certainly if you know anyone at the airport, the best person to start with usually is the ADA coordinator at any of the airports. And we would be happy to talk to them. So
we do have a question, and I don't know if we have the exact answer to this question, but I'll ask it from a YouTube chat. What ADA laws protect people while using the Aira app if you're in a business and they tell you you're not allowed to film?
Oh, wow.
That's a good question.
That is a great question. And you actually, that's a tough one, because our app does not record video. I mean, technically it does, but we use those internally only. Those are never, they never leave Aira. So, and actually,
here's Troy.
Here's somebody who might be able to answer that question.
What timing, Troy?
Wow. Is he good or what? We have our CEO, Troy Otillio, joining us.
That was kind of scary, Troy. Like, I got to admit, we just got to.
I felt like something was tickling my brain, but I didn't know what it was.
All right, so we have a question on YouTube from Adam here, and he says, "What ADA laws protect a user while using Aira if you go into a business and they tell you you are not allowed to film?"
ADA laws. I don't know. So first off, I'm not an attorney. I certainly try to study everything that's related to laws that apply to any of my customers. So what I'm about to say is just a little bit of a off the cuff, but I'm gonna go find out. So we have studied what are the rights and obligations for anyone using video. Like, forget Aira. Like, we all, it's 2021. We all have a video camera in our pocket all over the planet, right? Like, everywhere someone has video. And then the question is, when can you take video? And there are different laws in different countries and different states about consent, et cetera, et cetera. I've honestly never thought about it or asked the question with respect to the ADA. Like, in other words, like, and that is like, you kind of hit me with, like, of course, a service like Aira or Be My Eyes or any service where even like some of the apps that you might use that are using the camera, like, that question has to be answered because it's a valuable technology, right? The ability to stream video to, and whether it's recorded or not, like, in a way, like, that video is living for a moment in time or forever. Like, the question is, yeah, what is your right and what is the right of, I guess, someone else who might be in the video, or what is the rights of someone who owns a property? So I'll stop there and just say those are really, really good questions. And I know there's a lot of discussion about surveillance state, and there's a lot of passion around that. And I think my personal perspective is, common sense, and ultimately, we should think about the benefits and the risks, right? So maybe just being honest, obvious about it. But there are different states where, and even in the context, I believe, of K through 12, of an education scenario where your rights are limited as an individual, depending on where you are and who you're filming. Gosh, I think I'm going to talk myself out of answering this specifically because I'm realizing.
I think honestly, like, it's something I want to research. Really,
yeah,
it's a great.
I was
question.
going to say,
I do know this. We've talked to attorneys, and we've actually used a law firm that I won't name her, but she is an Aira user. So in other words, she's a professional attorney who specializes in privacy law, and she's an Aira user. We specifically picked her because she had that context and works for a very prominent firm in the DC area. So I think I'm going to be reaching out to her after this. But we've had situations. I remember we had a big, I don't want to say a fight. We had a discussion with in Australia. We were looking to deploy Aira access in the context of a couple airports, and the airport was like, "Oh, you can't use video in the airport in the TSA area, whatever Australia calls TSA." And you have to, if you're going to provide access here for free, you have to prevent usage. And in my opinion is that decision is in your hands. It's in the explorer's hand. You choose when you don't videotape, whether you're using Aira or not. And it's your job, I suppose, to know when that's appropriate, when it's not. It would be too complicated. I think Emily's on the line. She's going to agree with it. Imagine if we had to know where it was appropriate to film, if you will, or use video, and where it's not. That's super complicated. So I would say this, and I'll stop with my kind of ad-libbing, and we'll get to the answers. But if you're ever in doubt and like you have a question, lob it into support. Like, call tech support. Let us bring that question to us, and we'll do our best to research it. But at the end of the day, you're empowered to do what you want, and we're not going to stop you from taking video all the way up until, I think we have a couple policies, right, Emily, about like for use in a bathroom or places that it's obvious that we shouldn't be taking video. But I start with, you're the decision maker, you're in charge, you're independent. We're not the police. We're here to provide service. But I think it's a great question, and I'll stop there. But you're right. I just came in that's a great question to lob in right after.
It really is. Yeah.
That's an amazing one. And
right.
I think I would look toward the phrase auxiliary aids and services. And that would be, things like service animals, like wheelchairs, like, Aira is an application that is used in that context. And so that may be some of the legal wording you want to look up, but we're definitely going to do some research into this because it's a great question. And if you have a specific business, please support at Aira.io. We would love to hear the story.
I would love to, and Janine, I'm just stepping in this, and Ryan, I just have to tell you guys, the reason I'm late is I belong to a professional group, and tonight was the night we cooked jambalaya via Zoom, and I'm so fired up because I've got jambalaya across from me right now, and I'm looking at it and smelling it.
I have a dish here of rice and fish, Troy, in your honor, awaiting me
Thank
to
you.
eat it after this.
But I would
call.
just,
So,
I don't know if we can ask the group, but I'm always curious to listen to the customers. What do they think the answer should be? Like what, because this is new stuff, like, and as Aira, we can only advocate on behalf of our users what they want, but what should the answer be?
yeah, that would be a very interesting thing to know.
Where can they
folks.
send
Any-
that? Where can they send that to, Janine? Like, is there support? Do we
I would say support. Let's send everything to support and just, mention ADA and Aira use and give us your feelings and thoughts on it, because this could be a very interesting one. I know that our former head of policy and government relations, Paul Schrader, and I had many a discussion about this. And so.
Well, we have 2 more questions, so we'll go ahead and get to those.
Awesome.
We'll start with Mitchell. Mitchell, you've been waiting for like half the meeting, so I'll...
All right. So, hello, Mitchell. What
you're
can
so
we do for you
patient. I mean,
today?
I swear, I'm surprised you're not like yelling at us by now.
No. I raised my hand during the Uber conversation because I remember I recently just started using Uber. I actually used it from San Diego to Oceanside, and I remember I checked it in the morning. It was like almost $300, but when I checked it at night, it was like $60, $65. So I'm glad I went at night.
$65 from San Diego to Oceanside. Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was like $200 in the morning, but at night it was the total was like $70 with tip and everything. But
wow.
I remember I tried to log in with Aira, and I got this thing, something about an app code or something not available, and I was really confused. And I texted support, and they never got back to me. But I was actually so I didn't know that was going on with everyone. I thought it was just like, I was like, am I doing something wrong?
No, unfortunately, it's not just you.
No.
Yeah, Uber started to restrict their API a lot more, and I think Troy can say it here too. I think like we tried to contact them, and we still try to contact them today, even to work with them, and hopefully we can get that partnership going again. We'd love to.
Yeah.
So if you want Uber, feel free to
Feel free to mention it to them.
I was thinking of doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would
thinking of doing that.
Thanks
I-
everyone
I-
who
don't
has
be-
done that.
Don't be afraid
try
to yell at Uber, either on social media. That's a very powerful tool. To write to them in the app. Get that out there, because we're more than happy to work with them when they're ready to.
But then I have a quick question.
Yes.
I saw that you guys were like hiring for like getting new agents or something, or something like that, and I sent it to my VI teacher, because it's funny because like a week before my VI teacher, my O&M teacher, because she was saying that she would do that extra, it'd be cool. But she said she tried to fill it out, but she said it didn't work. When she put it in that she lived in California, it wasn't working. So she's like, "Are you guys not hiring from California or something?"
Yeah, we don't. There's a couple states we don't hire in. Again, transparency. There's certain states where the labor laws are a little challenging. The way we operate our service, we try and provide this at the lowest cost possible with the highest quality. And needless to say, like California is one of the states that doesn't have favorable laws for us to do that. So today we don't. We can always change our mind. But that's where we are today, and it's a little disappointing because I'm in California, and there's
That's what I thought. I'm like, isn't Aira headquarters in California?
It doesn't mean we don't have agents here, but we're just trying to make sure we mitigate any risk. So that could change. We got to, so we'll see.
And then I thought about that ADA thing you said, and I have something, but if you guys have to go on, then I can always email it to support.
Yeah.
We would love you to send us your comments to support@aira.io, Mitchell, and thank you so much. And who else do we have here this evening? Right?
We are going to get to our last question on Zoom. It is from John.
And hello, John.
You hear me?
We can.
Yeah, we
Okay,
sure can.
now this is more involved with airports. Since COVID, they've gotten a lot more automated with kiosks and all this stuff, which to me is going to be pretty daunting. I haven't tried to travel yet with it, but you know, what is the role of Ira in with that? And can Ira help me get a really live person, which I might need regardless? Or what's the deal with all that?
Good
So I
deal.
can speak
Oh,
to two things here. Number one, Aira and kiosks is really great. So I wasn't in an airport, but I'll share the quick story of Aira does really good at reading things from screens and guiding your finger, especially on touch screens. I did one in a restaurant once with one of those little tablets that are on the tables
yes.
to pay a bill. And the Aira agent just called them up, told them showed them the screen. They were able to say, move your finger a little bit to the left and then touch the screen. And yep, they're really, really great at that. And Aira agents are super pro at going through airports.
Yes.
I think we've all done that a little bit too much.
Before
Yeah.
COVID, I used to, but but after COVID, there's a lot less contact with people.
Yeah. And Aira agents are wonderful at social distancing through airports too. I've done it in the middle of the
Yes.
pandemic. I've had to go through, funny because, for one reason or another, there was in 2020, a really bad fire that was in the area where I was, and we had to end up going, and everybody had to evacuate their houses for a while. And, doing an airport through Aira agents is during COVID is great because not only do you not have to worry about, and I found that airports trying to offer assistance was a lot less too. And so not only do you not have to worry so much about getting close to somebody to walk through that airport, but the Aira agents are really good at keeping a couple of bag lengths between you and other people, and getting you through that airport, especially in those TSA lines where you have to get through there and get through those lines. So our Aira agents are pro at social distancing.
Okay, great.
And I've heard from a number of customers, John, who have been through airports very recently as they get more crowded. And they've said the same thing, that they could move really quickly. And if they needed a live person, they could have the agent and the live person both if they felt like they needed that. Because sometimes, the live people are not as communicative as you might like them to be. And the agent can give you that little bit of extra.
And I'll tell you, it is so much fun to shock the live person and say, hey, we're walking past this place right now. Can we go?
Yes. Oh, I see you.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the
Or
Hudson
else
store. I need a soda.
Hey, you're going the wrong way.
Yes. Great. Well, we are hoping that everybody will get back out and get going again soon. We are very happy and very pleased that many of our airport partners have stayed with us during the pandemic, and it has paid off for them because lots of folks like Ryan, who had to take flights, had that airport access, and that was wonderful. So we appreciate all of our airport partners out there for hanging with us.
And our last question was on YouTube. And it is a question about asking if we can purchase minutes that are kind of like a prepaid phone, but not purchase a subscription. As of right now, that is not possible to do. We are always investigating other ways to do minutes and subscriptions. You can add add-on minutes to your plan. So if you are on a paid subscription, you can purchase minutes that you can have with you that will stay with you. So the subscription minutes will not roll over, but the purchased minutes that you have will. And so if you do not use all of your minutes on that purchase minutes for the month, they will go with you through the next month.
Ryan, this always confuses the CEO too. So just walk me through it. So what plan would I buy? And then I have add-on minutes that don't go away. Like if I was trying to like minimize my cost, like what's our best offer today? Yeah.
So if it was me and I was buying a plan to maximize my usage with minimal cost, I would buy our intro plan, which is $29 for 30 minutes. If you are part of an organization, though, you can get that down. But you do have to prove membership. So through our customer care team, and then you can buy any of the bundles on that low subscription. So you can either buy our 50 for 50, our 29 for 30, and when you buy those minutes, if you do not use all of your first plan minutes, so your intro plan minutes, those minutes that you purchase will stay on your account. So if and the subscription minutes do not. I'm trying to think of the easier way to explain that.
So what you're saying is, if you buy that plan, you're going to burn through you have to burn through all your plan minutes in a month. But once you do, then you eat into the
purchased minutes.
Yeah. Purchased minutes, which never expire. Yep. So it's another model. Cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you can, as long as you use 5% of those purchased minutes, you can get some more. So if you feel like you're going to do a longer task, and you only have, let's say, 10 of those minutes left in a month, you can grab some more and go do your task if you're starting to run low on minutes. And so they're a great way to have some minutes in the bank there for you if you know you're going to go on a longer task, or if you're just trying to minimize your cost there and have full usage of Aira.
And if you want to do a nice gift for someone, we do have the Aira, basically Aira Cash, as one good way to put it, but that you can gift someone. So you can pay for a gift for someone to have a number of minutes per month, or you can buy that for yourself. If you think, okay, I just want to pay for, a couple months, sort of have that in the bank for myself, so I can buy myself the Aira gift and be able to get that for myself later on down the road. And
the greatest part about
the
gift cards,
many ways. Yeah.
The greatest part about the gift cards is that they can they are used for both. So they can be used to do a subscription, upgrade your subscription, or purchase minutes. So you can do so much with the Aira credits, or the Aira Cash.
Yeah.
I like that.
The
Aira
Aira
Cash.
credits are yes, Aira Cash. Aira credits. It's a nice system for folks, and a kind of way to ensure. Okay, I know I can pay for everything this month, but next month might be a little shaky, so maybe I'll get myself some Aira credit, and have that kind of in the background to cover me. And so it's a really good strategy. Plus, it's a really nice gift for someone. And you can find those on our website. Lots of things you can find on our website, right, Ryan?
Absolutely. Yeah, our website is definitely a treasure trove. And if you can't find it there, our customer care team always has the answer. So you're more than welcome to give them a call or a text.
Elena. Yep.
Yeah.
They're happy to text with you or give you a call or even work with you through email.
Oh, and in our last few minutes, do we make the big announcement that we have a new social platform coming up? Yeah, we just pulled this together. We've been talking about it for a while. But for all of you out there who are on Clubhouse, yes, Clubhouse, we have the Aira Visual Interpreting Club now that you are welcome to join. We will have our first event on Friday at, let's see, what did we make that, Ryan?
11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 2 Eastern. And
we will have
1 Central.
Whoa, what's going to happen,
Mountain.
he asks. We are going to take a look at the AI in Aira. So we'll be talking engineering, we'll be talking computer tech, we'll be talking about some potential job opportunities that are out there. And we will have
another event on Monday, correct? Yeah.
on Monday, same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And that's our office hours. And that's going to be a time when you can come in and find out about visual interpreting. If you have friends that may be interested in being agents, we're going to play a few fun audio clips for you that are going to talk about Aira experience. So if you know somebody on Clubhouse that doesn't know about Aira, please invite them to join the Aira Visual Interpreting Club.
Nice. By the way, I have to
yeah.
talk about Clubhouse for a minute. Just sorry, like I know we're going over, but whatever. Does anyone
Hey,
have
the
a
CEO's
place to go?
prerogative, right?
Well,
no.
So first off, I learned Clubhouse is at the moment, conventionally iOS only. Your CEO is a bit of a geek, and he's been an Android user for a long time. I've been an iOS user before, but I learned you can also get into Clubhouse kind of unofficially without an iOS phone. And so if you Google around, there's plenty of advice. So that's me passing along to if there's any Android users, which I'm a passionate Android user, love iOS, but you can get into Clubhouse. And then what was my next point about this? I do find like Clubhouse is really interesting. It's a lot of social media platforms take off because they constrain something, like Twitter. For a lot of us in technology, like, what is this platform? Like 40 characters, like no one's going to use that. Like we've got email, like why would anyone want a platform with 40 characters? Obviously, there's brighter people and more creative people out there, and Twitter's out there. We've got WhatsApp, but I just think it's a really great moment in time for all of us who use the medium of audio like we're using right here, which is Clubhouse. And I can't tell you how many folks I know forget Aira, forget anything. Like Clubhouse is kind of hot right now. And like always, I think we're going to listen to our customers about how would you like Aira to participate in that Clubhouse experience. And I would encourage all of us, who's on the call, like if you don't know what Clubhouse is, check it out and then tell us what you think, because I think it's a great medium. There's no visual, like we're all us visual folks. I'm going to pin myself, like a little tired of looking at myself in the screen and everyone else.
Zoom fatigue is real.
Visual.
Hashtag.
It's visual fatigue. It's like okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited about Clubhouse. So I look forward to seeing you all there.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun time. We appreciate everybody joining in. And a lot of people are sharing lots of really creative audio on Clubhouse. So we want to bring some of our Aira
Hey, someone's asking, by the way,
there.
And I don't even know the answer to this. How do I join the Aira group on Clubhouse? Like, what do I do?
So if you are a member of Clubhouse, there is an Explore button at the top of your screen. So if you are in Clubhouse, you can hit Explore and you can type in Aira, A-I-R-A, and see what comes up. Our club should come up. We just created it today. And so it should come up and it will be called Aira Visual Interpreting. So if you want to put the whole name in there, great.
What if this is the first time you've even heard of this thing, Clubhouse? Like, what do I do?
If it's the first time you've heard of Clubhouse, you might want to check in your contacts, because Clubhouse works through your contacts and you need to be invited in. And so generally there are a lot of blind people on Clubhouse, and many of them have these invitations from Clubhouse and they can invite you in. And when they invite you, they will need your phone number, and on which you will receive a text, and you simply respond to that text, and when you open the app, you're there.
So do I start by downloading the iOS app? Is that like how I get started?
You will start by downloading.
Talking to your contacts. And you get the link.
You can talk to your contacts, but yeah, I would say start by downloading the app and then talk to your contacts, so that when you get that invite, you can just open the app and voila, there you are.
Yeah, there is
and
a
you
bit
are ready to join the fun.
There is it's a very interesting bit of social.
It's like an Aira referral, right? No.
Yeah, sort of, actually. Sort of. And we'll be talking about those Aira referrals.
By the way, for everyone who's hanging on here, I have to give Janine a bunch of credit here because we heard about Clubhouse from others. We've been on some Clubhouses. I've been talking to Matt Ader from Vespero. Like Clubhouse is like, such gaining rapid.
Matt is like a Clubhouse
Janine was already
ninja.
on it. She was already talking Clubhouse. I'm like,
well, and I got it from Emily, so we can
oh,
give
Emily. All
props
right.
to
Well,
Emily
I
here.
learned something by coming to this call every day.
You got it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
got
Troy,
it.
don't you
And
know I'm hip?
she is.
I'm not surprised at all. I'm just now informed.
There you go. So see,
Take the credit there,
now
Emily.
we know. Now we know, and the fun will ensue. Well, folks, you know what time it is. It's time for the Braille calendar. Woohoo! All right.
You did get me one of those, I swear. I feel
yeah. Love my Braille calendar. So our next call will be, let's see, it will be Wednesday, May 19th. Yes.
all right.
So Wednesday, May 19th will be our next call, and who knows what we'll have for you then. But I would like to thank everyone for joining us on YouTube, for joining us on Zoom. I want to thank Troy for coming in on his white horse, like the knight that he is, and being here with us tonight, even though he is fired up from jambalaya. Yeah. See, I'm telling you, we are the coolest company with the most life-changing mission. It's our new slogan, Troy.
There we go.
I'd like to thank Emily Hill, our Director of Customer Experience and Street Crosser Extraordinaire. She's not even going to respond to that one. And right, I know it's going downhill, I'm telling you, because my jambalaya is calling me. And Ryan Bishop, our product manager extraordinaire.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a pleasure as always.
And he has taken the big dive into Clubhouse tonight, and we're
I
just
have,
way too
yes.
excited, so.
It's a great place to be, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there.